I want to know, Robbo, your feeling about Harry Kane. Will he leave the club this summer? Put aside the price tag and who can actually afford him. I know that's an entirely different debate, but do you feel that Harry Kane will be pushing for a move away at least?
He's made noises in the press over here about leaving at the end of the season or leaving at some point. I don't think any Spurs fan wouldn't stand in his way or would begrudge him leaving. He's one of the world's best strikers, and he's scored the goals that he has in a team that hasn't won a trophy, that hasn't won the Premier League. He's carried the club. He's been a talisman for so long. And going back to what I said about the cup final at the, through the light at the end of the tunnel, a potential fourth. Now all that's going away, the realism is possibly going to kick in that Harry Kane might not be there next season. I think with his age, with where he is in his career, the European Championships coming up, if Spurs don't qualify for Europe next season, I suspect the Champions League is probably the least that would keep Harry Kane at the club now. I don't think Harry Kane would stay for Europa League. I think it would have to be Champions League. I think if there's anybody that deserves a trophy at that club, it would be him and Hugo Lloris for the year's service and the way they've played and performed for that club. But at the same time, me, from a Spurs point of view, and other Spurs fans, if Harry Kane turned around and signed for Barcelona, Real Madrid, and set up Bayern Munich, I want to win things in my career. I'm at an age now where I need to progress. I need to win trophies. I think Spurs are now at a development stage again. They're at another transitional bus stop, if you like. Another manager coming in. Squad rotation will happen again. I don't think anyone could begrudge him moving. And I think that is a real possibility come the end of the season, should Spurs not have Champions League football.
Gary, what's your take on it?
Well, I said only last week on here that I thought that Harry Kane would still be at Spurs next season. And the reason I thought that and felt it at the time was because of the economic climate at the moment. Spurs aren't going to let him go cheap. Who's got big money to spend on Harry Kane? His market value, like every single player, in my opinion, because of the financial crisis, has come down. Simple as that. We all know that Mr. Levy doesn't like to sell cheap. If Harry Kane goes, who do they bring in? That's the next big one. If you let Harry Kane go and you don't replace him, then, where does that leave Spurs? It leaves them further behind. I believe that Harry Kane has 3 more seasons on his contract after this. Don't quote me on that. That's what I understand. So there is still another season before it gets to that. Well, you've only got 2 years left. We better sell him because otherwise we're going to end up losing him on a free. So I think there are some reasons why he will stay. I don't know what his personal feelings are. There's been some wonderful players over the years who've been one-club players. I look to the highly talented Matt Letizia, who always stayed at Southampton. And I spoke with Matt fairly recently, and he felt that that was the right thing for him and his family at the time. So what does Harry Kane think is the right thing for Harry Kane and his family at this precise moment in time, and for the next couple of seasons? A move isn't always the greatest thing in the world. Sometimes that grass looks really green on the other side of the road until you get there. Having said that, it will be an absolute crime if Harry Kane, for all his talent and all his goal-scoring ability and for the goals he's scored, if he ends his career without a team, domestic or European trophy.
Yeah, I think comparisons could also be made. A decision of Alan Shearer, who's the all-time top scorer in the Premier League, when he opted to move to Newcastle as opposed to Manchester United when that was varicose. But the big difference being that Shearer had already won the Premier League title, so perhaps the decision was made easier for Shearer to go to Newcastle, and you could argue perhaps for him he made the right decision. His boyhood club, and he has a statue outside of the stadium. And I'm sure you know all about him, Robbo, facing him as a goalkeeper yourself.